The B-side in boxing.
B-side shit.
B-side, and the B-side.
Don't brag about taking my side piece! Don't brag about taking my side piece!
That B-side thing.
This is the B-Sides Boxing Podcast.
I left with his belt and his girl.
Hey, as I'm sure you've noticed by now, Shanada's not on the main show, and two other people have come into play. This wasn't like a conflict or anything, it's just a scheduling problem, and we decided to resolve that problem by having Shanada be the co-panel on a show of her own, and this is where we're at. So this is a little bit more free-form, less in the news, I guess, or in the fights that just happened, unless it's like a major event. But it's just flowing conversation, so you'll get to hear that. Whenever we get on to chat, I don't have like a formal introduction the same way I do with B-Sides. So instead, I'm just going to drop you into the conversation right where it begins.
Now, is it in that share space thing?
Yes.
And where would I find said document?
If you go to Boxing B-Sides, it's at the root of it.
My files?
No.
No. Shared files? Boxing B-Sides. Photos written, Sidepiece.
Yep.
Get it. What is a knee?
Was it a knee? I've been actually bouncing around some ideas for a new name. Sidepiece doesn't seem quite as good as I thought it would be.
People aren't liking it. I thought it was funny.
I think it's funny too, but I think it's like too much of an inside joke.
Our fans are too casual for the name.
I guess, even when you explain it to them, like,
or young, maybe too young.
The audio is cut into the intro. You can hear them saying it.
Right, but when was that?
Shit, 2015, 2014?
It's like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Some interesting ones. Extra rounds. Corner talk. The locker room talk. That'd be pretty funny.
Nice.
Training camp, ringside stories. I don't. Now that I'm saying it out loud.
No, I don't think that one fits. I'll have to think about it maybe.
Yeah. Boxing.
Overtime, but that's more. I guess there's overtime boxing.
Extra rounds. Overtime boxing.
Yeah.
The after round. The deeper cut.
What do they call like the change room that the guys go to? Is that a locker room?
Yes, locker room.
In boxing?
Dressing room or locker room?
The aftermath? CTE.
New name TBD.
Yours are better. Yeah, yours are better.
Bell to bell. The clinch. In the clinch.
After the bell.
After the bell's pretty good. But then it's a matter of making sure these aren't taken.
Yeah. All the good ones are probably taken.
People come up with some interesting word combinations to try to get out of overlapping.
We'll just spell it wrong.
Oh, jeez. Z's instead of S's every time.
Yeah.
So the burning question. Was it a knee?
It was obviously a knee.
Yeah. Was it a KD?
Should have been.
Should have been.
So everybody's talking about it, of course. The Pro Box guys had 2 whole podcast shows about it. I got the hiccups all of a sudden. And they called people in from all over to discuss this. I'd actually recommend that people go look or watch the Pro Box one.
Yeah.
Everybody agrees that it should have been at least a point deduction. A bunch of people are like, it's a disqualification. Chris Algieri was like, well, his corner came up the stairs with a white towel, so I thought at the time that they were conceding or like throwing in the towel. Yeah, it's crazy. And his excuse that it was grease doesn't change anything.
That's not it. It doesn't make it better. You can't explain your way out of it. I'm of the mind that any explanation is just going to make it worse. Just say like I took a knee and that was that.
Yeah, and like you can take a knee, that's fine.
People do it all the time.
But even his corner, if you listen, they were like, that looked like a submission, or whatever the wording is. Like, that looked like you were quitting, basically, when he turned his back and stuff.
Turned his
back. Like, you can't be doing that shit.
You're not allowed to turn your back. It's in the fucking rules. You can't. So you take a knee, you turn your back, take a knee, run and lean halfway out of the ring.
Your corner comes in and interacts with you, which is a disqualification.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And the ref started counting.
He did. And then Tank told him to stop.
Which is fucking madness.
Absolutely.
And the argument that everybody has, that is 100% correct, is if Roach did any of these, it definitely would have been a point off. He probably would have just been disqualified.
I don't know if they would have went as far as disqualifying him, but if the roles were reversed, it would 100% have been a point off, and definitely would, the very least, a stern, very strong warning. Like, that is absolutely not allowed. Any other funny business and you're disqualified. That kind of thing.
So the turning your back thing is whatever, but the corner coming up on the apron, I think, is a disqualification 85% of the time.
Yeah.
Like, and they touched them and stuff. They can't be doing that. If you got shit in your eye, you have to wait for the ref to tell you can get it. Like, and if it was his hair, people fight with their hair all fucked up and bothering them and in their face constantly. Like, there was that lady whose weave kept falling out.
Jesus.
We've seen multiple guys get their hair cut in the corner.
Yeah.
Between rounds.
Absolutely. Or taped up.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the men especially tend to just go, fuck it, cut it off. I don't know. His excuse doesn't change the fact that it was a knockdown.
Yes, if nothing else. If nothing else, it was a knockdown. You voluntarily took one. People take them all the time. One of the quote-unquote hardcore fans, fucking boner fights, Jose Luis Castillo versus Diego Corrales. And in that one, he took knees, he spit out his mouthpiece, got a point deducted for it because he needed the time. People take knees. It happens for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I don't even think he had grease in his face or in his eye, because if it was just grease from sweating, like, he would have been wiping at it. He never once wiped his eyes.
Not that I saw, anyway.
Yeah, I shouldn't say never once, because somebody's going to go back and watch the round and be like, you lied. But at the time he took the knee, he wasn't wiping at his eyes multiple times. Like, the equivalent would be if somebody was getting blood in their eye and just called a timeout so that their corner could, like, wipe it off.
Tim Zhu, I'm sure he would have loved to take a break in the middle of the round to get the blood wiped off. Like,
I was not a Tank fan anyways, but this is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, inexcusable.
And 2 of the 3 refs gave him that round. Like, did you see that?
Yeah, to make it worse, there's chatter The WBA president he's like kind of spearheading it. Like, this shit needs to get overturned. That was absolutely wrong. And he has as much to lose with Tank not having that title, because he's a cash cow. Of course he's going to want Tank to be a belt holder.
Well, and they do have video replay, right? That fight was in New York?
I don't know if New York does.
New York definitely does. If the fight was in New York, they have video replay. Like, what the fuck, guys?
Seriously.
That was round 9, was it?
No,
you had 3...
It was early.
7?
I think it was earlier than that. I'm going to check. You go ahead.
You have, like, multiple rounds. You have 10 fucking minutes to figure it out. Like, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
How did that not rear its head before? Is curious to me.
I am sure New York has video replay, because I've seen a couple times where they called, like, knockdowns and then were like, oh, no punch, or called,
You were
cuts
right.
caused by headbutts.
You were right. It's the 9th.
But still, you have, like, that's a lot of time to look at a video replay and announce it to the judges and the crowd.
And you had 8 rounds where you weren't having grease problems.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, such a bullshit made up story.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. To say the least.
Anyways, it was a knockdown and Roach won.
Roach absolutely won the fight. That knockdown is 115-112. Justice for Roach.
Well, it'd be even more of a swing, wouldn't it? If 2 judges gave it that round to Tank, it'd have to go the other way. That's a 3-point swing on 2 cards.
Woof. So then it'd be 116, 111.
Yeah.
That's
which is a fair margin.
That is quite. He beat Tank.
He definitely beat Tank.
He beat
him. And the world knows.
The
hood knows who won that.
The whole hood knows who won that fight. Speaking of the whole hood knowing, Serrano Taylor Part 3 is officially official for July. I don't know how to feel about it.
They were both really good fights. I could see why the trilogy is needed. But Taylor's fucking old, man. I've been saying for a while that I just want her to retire and be the living legend that she is. Like, ride off into the sunset before you're fucked. Because I swear to God, she's starting to slur her words and stuff. Everybody's like, oh, that's just her accent. But I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it is either. It's getting worse. Before, Sidepiece era time frame, like, yeah, it's her accent, but not anymore.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it either. They were 2 good fights. Third fight's probably going to be great. I said it last time and I was wrong, but I think Serrano's going to win. And then you have, 2-1? Still? Like...
The more they do this, the more time between the fights, it's just more time that Taylor gets older, Serrano gets more time to figure it out. And if I hope they do 3-minute rounds. I really do.
If they do 3-minute rounds, that would be better, for sure. But Taylor's getting old. And it's not like she gassed in the last fight, but suddenly jumping to 3-minute rounds when she's got to be close to 40, isn't she? If she's not 40.
I believe she's 38, but I'm not 100%.
Like, jumping to 3-minute rounds that late in your career, I mean, if anybody can do it, Katie Taylor can do it, but it just seems like a bad idea to me. But she could be, one of the first women to do 3-minute rounds that would be a title fight, right?
Yeah, undisputed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right, she is 38.
Look at me. I don't know what round Tank went down in, but I know how old Katie Taylor is. Well done, me.
I mean, arguably, Katie Taylor is more important than Tank anyways, so.
Now that he's a fucking loser.
And a whiny bitch. Oh, I got grease in my eyes. Coach, come wipe it off for me. This guy's beating me up and I don't know what to do.
If they rematch, I think that Roach is probably going to get knocked out if they rematch.
Maybe. But everybody knows he won that first fight.
Absolutely. Man, the whole hood knows. It's gonna keep coming up because I'm still fucking miffed. Every time I think, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm gonna stop thinking about it, and then less than an hour later, I'm like, fucking, that was
angry.
A knee. That was a fucking knee.
It was clearly a knee.
Yeah. God, Tank lost. He lost.
Well, and it bugs me because what's that ref's name?
Steve Willis.
Yeah, he's usually so good.
He is.
Like, I usually like Steve Willis.
He's a good ref. He is. He's one of the
And
few.
he started the count. Why did he stop?
I remember back when I had hair, I remember having to deal with grease as well. I was talking about it with...
I almost did a racism.
Yeah. I was talking about it with Alex and Josh on the proper B-sides, and that was something I had mentioned. Like, I had called it pomade.
Yeah, I know pomade. Yeah.
It was like, did you guys not use that? Because the way I grew up, like, I always had this.
I'm surprised if they haven't.
The slick back hair, and it's called 3 Flowers. That was the pomade. It's just hair grease.
No, my boyfriend used a different one, and we had to drive all over fuck to find it because it was not popular anymore when he was still using it. But he went gray really, really young, and when you go gray, it changes the texture. And so he would use it almost as leave-in conditioner.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly the type you're talking about. I don't know any names, any brand names, but I know the type you're talking about.
Well, it is just pomade. Like, it says on it, pomade, but this one has softener in it. Softener is not the right word.
Conditioner.
But when we go rock climbing, he'd slick back his hair so it wasn't in his face. And then for the next, 4 or 5 days, his hair would be super soft.
Was it Dapper Dan?
No. I looked all over for Dapper Dan. I don't think that's even a real one.
It's not.
That's from
It's from the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want pop. God damn it! I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Dapper Dan.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
I can't remember what it was called. That's gonna bother me now. I also don't know how you spell pomade.
I think it's POMM.
Pomade. Yeah. It'll be one of the top brands in Canada, I'm sure it is.
Oh, speaking of bothering you, the Times Square card. Are you familiar?
Yeah, kind of. I've been trying my best not to pay attention. Although it sounds like the Discord guys are going, so that's cool.
Yeah, might. I might go to that one as well. We'll see how it plays out.
Old Spice makes pomade. It must be making a comeback.
Axe makes pomade too.
Pomade sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah, it's not a great name, but I used to use the Axe one when I had longer hair.
No, I can't find the name. It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to text my ex to ask him what he put in his hair. It starts with a B. It's in a red can. It was only at Walmart, but it was only at certain Walmarts, and the city we lived in had 3 Walmarts, so we'd have to drive around to figure out which one had it in stock. It was fun.
Sweet Georgia Brown?
No, that's too American. Anyways, doesn't matter. I will let it go.
But we're not letting this go. Tuxedo Club?
Maybe. Is it red?
Yes. Here,
Maybe,
let me
but
put it in
I thought it started with a B. I do this all the time though.
There's that.
That might be it actually. Yeah. It has a very dapper looking man on it.
Yep.
Yeah. That's probably it.
But that's as far as I'm gonna go in looking for it. I think that's close enough.
That's probably the stuff. Anyways, it was fucking hilarious because people liked it, but they never ordered much of it. So we'd like race the 3 other guys who buy it to figure out like which store it was in that month.
Why not order directly from the shop then?
I don't know. Because I didn't think of that.
That's...
You drive to Walmart and you get it.
Yeah, I guess. But
it's also Walmart. A trip to Walmart is never wasted. You always come home with something.
Oh, coming home with something. The Times Square card. I'm really going to try to fit this one in here. Coming home with all of the mental illnesses. Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. He's moving up to welterweight, so that's fun. Not surprising. Devin Haney's always shrunk down quite a bit.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it, but fuck, I would love for Jose Ramirez to win that one.
Yeah, so his particular mental illness is bitchitis, so that's fun. Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero. What is that? 2 egomaniacs?
Yeah, Garcia's got multiple things going on, I think. But yeah. Ego being a big part of it, narcissism.
And Teofimo.
What's the... Teofimo's just...
that dude's bipolar, and he's got fucking problems.
He has been trying to be normal in interviews lately, and it makes it worse almost, because you can see he's trying so fucking hard, and at some point he always fails. And the crazy shows. And then sometimes he gets it back together, and sometimes they just end the interviews.
Jesus. He was saying some shit like, I can't be a racist because everyone's racist.
I mean, everyone is a little racist.
Right.
But that doesn't make you not racist.
It does not take away... I don't know. Everybody
that's
has
like
the
saying
thoughts.
I can't... Yeah. That's like saying I can't be dying because everybody's dying. Some people are dying more than others.
Right, like in the Sylvia Plath, like, oh, everyone's a wilting flower kind of bullshit. The inevitable march of time.
Yeah, but like, I'm dying in 30 years and you're dying next week. You're a little more dying than I am.
Right.
Tio's a little more racist than I am. And I'm more racist than most people, so...
I don't know if is it worse when it's unintentional? Like, it's just like ingrained into you and you don't even mean to?
I mean, I don't know.
I think Teofimo was just a douchebag.
Yeah, I think Tio just has some problems.
I'm hopeful that Arnold Barbosa would beat him, but it's similar to Jose Ramirez. It's probably not going to happen.
No. And I would fucking love for Rolly to just knock Garcia out. How fucking funny would that be?
For Rolly to beat Ryan Garcia?
Not even just beat him. Like, I want him to knock him the fuck out.
Embarrass him?
Yeah.
Oof. That would be something.
That would be amazing. I would be so happy.
Oh, that's it. I'm sure there's more shit on there, but those are like that's the triple header.
They had one press conference, and I didn't watch it because I assumed it would just be a lot of yelling and crazy, but people said it was more normal than they were expecting.
Relatively tame.
No,
they haven't.
The moderator was keeping a lid on things, I think.
They also haven't started their cycles since they're not in camp yet.
Fair. Bitchitis.
Yeah. Speaking of cycles, Dana White, with his new shit with Riyadh season and TKO Enterprises, this joint venture.
So yeah, I haven't particularly been following up, but so Turkey's putting money in UFC now?
No, he's putting money into a boxing venture that is going to be headed by UFC president Dana White.
Ow.
Yeah.
Why?
Right. That's the question on a lot of people's minds. Is why are you doing this?
I don't get it.
I'm thinking they want more managerial control over the fighters.
Right. Fuck, that would be so bad for boxing.
Yes.
Turning into a one promotion league.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on it either.
Also, Dana White is a terrible human being.
Yes. He's quite a piece of shit. Actually, shoehorning in, one of Josh's articles is actually about Dana White.
Yeah. Have you mentioned on the podcast that we're doing written stuff now? No,
I have not. This is the debut.
Ooh.
It was.
Yeah, the editing is kind of fun, actually. He's writing really short articles, like 1 to 2 pages, super fast.
Yeah, that's kind of the level we need to keep it at. The attention landscape is not that great. So
fair,
but still, I thought at first when I saw the name, why not Dana White? This is me encouraging you, beloved listener, to go read it because it's pretty good, and it sounds like, oh, why not? Why not allow Dana White to have a shot at taming the beast that is boxing? But then it comes off as like,
this is why not Dana White.
Why not Dana White? Because he's a piece of fucking garbage.
Not that there aren't pieces of fucking garbage in boxing, but
let me quote him here, which is why I encourage Dana White for the moment entering the space. He's not subtle. He's all of the scummiest aspects of the sport rolled into one person, into one visually displeasing person.
I do like the not subtle jabs mixed in the article. It was fun.
Man, I don't think people realize how good when you compare to UFC, that we can say like boxers have it really good. And I really doubt
compared to UFC, for sure.
I sincerely doubt they're going to want to give up a lot of their autonomy for what? For what exactly? Prestige?
For getting fucked.
Yeah, the prestige of getting fucked by Dana White instead of getting like lubricated finger banged by your current promoter. I mean, at least one.
And there are a couple decent promoters as well. Like, shit, I'm drawing blanks on names again. Is it Al Heyman that seems like an actual decent human being?
Yeah, he's more of a manager than a promoter, but same. Yeah.
I don't know much about the business side of boxing. I just like watching people punch each other.
Samson, I've yet to hear of a Samson fighter that doesn't like him.
Yeah. I mean, the really big ones, it's like anything else. If you're a decent human being, you are never going to be the richest person in your field. Right. It's just a fact.
Yeah,
if you are a decent human being, you're never going to be a billionaire because you will give away money when you need no more money, or stop fucking people for every dime if you're a decent human being.
Yeah, you're not going to cut anyone's throat to advance. You're not going to step on people to climb higher.
Yeah, and like if you have $50 million that keep bringing in income, because that's how money works, you don't need any more money.
Yep.
Like, I have more money than I can spend. I'm happy. Like, maybe I could pay my workers more than a livable wage and like a decent wage.
Right.
Or you're Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and you're a terrible fucking human being and you don't care.
Yeah. You have 5 minutes of break time. You get to decide if you're going to the bathroom or you're going to eat. Your shift is 12 hours long. Good luck.
Yeah, I saw a Rage Bait article about how did they word it? Because it was the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Ethically encompassing or something. One of those dumb phrases. Toilets, and they're the squatty potties. Like, you find them sometimes here in Japan where it's just in the floor and you squat. Right? And people were outraged that they were doing all this stuff to make immigrants that work at Amazon feel better. I was like, guys, it's so you can't sit. Right? Like, you can't sit on the toilet and relax for 2 minutes. Well, I guess for women, it wouldn't work for men anyways, but like, you can't sit and relax for 2 minutes while you take a piss. Like, that's the whole point of those toilets. It's not to make people from India or Japan or anywhere else feel at home. It's so you can't waste time by peeing.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
You walk in, do your business, and get out.
Yeah.
So, name to be determined of this venture. I had in Discord, I had mentioned, why not call it Whiplash Boxing? And it's not because it's high octane, thunder crushing entertainment. It's because you're gonna be a fucking slave driver with whatever poor kids you entice into signing on to this shit. Because you're gonna have to start from the bottom up. You're not gonna assign names to your promotion here.
Yeah, I don't know. That do not let Dana White into boxing. Fucking ridiculous.
Do not allow Dana White into living.
I mean, we already did that.
I know. We can chivvy him out. That would be nice.
Great.
Another interesting sort of format that came up, the WBC Grand Prix. Have you heard of this one?
No.
So, 4 divisions. It's 126, 140, 160. I typoed there. And heavyweights. It's 32 athletes per division.
Okay. At least they have one interesting weight class in there.
126?
Like, one... Yeah, well, 140 is kind of in the bin right now, isn't it? Like, who's at 140 that's... Or is that Garcia and all those guys?
Yeah.
They're 147, aren't they?
No, they're not. Only
Brian Garcia is not gonna fucking make 140. He hasn't made 140 in 5 years.
Let's see. Well, let's check, because you're probably right. And I just assumed he was going to be at 140 because Raleigh's at 140.
I gotta look up who's actually at 140. I'm so bad at keeping track of the weight classes.
Last time when we recorded a few days ago, BoxRec was in the middle of maintenance at the time. So looking stuff up proved to be a little challenging.
Ah, yeah. So Tapology has their rankings here.
Yeah, Tapology is a good alternative.
Tiafimo, Jack Catterall, Richardson Hitchens, Liam Paro, Matthias, or Jaime Ortiz?
Jermaine?
I don't think I even... Is it Jermaine?
Yeah.
No, I just assumed he was Mexican.
With Ortiz. I can see why, but he's from New York somewhere.
Fair enough. I mean, I cannot say anything about names like that. My name's like that.
Yeah.
Regis Prograis.
No mention of Arnold Barbosa. Is he not listed?
9.
What?
Haney's listed as 12. They got Sandor Martin above him.
Well, Sandor Martin should be a fucking champion right now.
Yeah, they fucked my boy again.
They did.
I was upset. I actually haven't watched the full fight. I just watched highlights, but it really looked like he won that fight in the highlights, even though the highlights were designed to make it look like he didn't.
He did better than the highlights would suggest. Obviously, Puello wasn't terrible. It was just like a really slow start. Think same way like Teofimo versus Lomachenko, where once
or Teofimo versus Sandor Martin.
Once
I think Martin won that one too.
It was just a matter of like once Puello got going, he started doing really well. That was
Right.
kind of it. So it was just a matter of like two halves. But I had it like a 7-5 situation for Martin.
Fair. I don't know. They're never gonna let him win, and he doesn't have knockout power, so he's kind of fucked, I think. Which is not how it should be, but
Yeah, shouldn't be. God, I have a foster, and she likes to hang out on my footrest.
that cat this time, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Does she attack your feet?
No, she doesn't. She's a little sweetheart. She just
That's
likes
good.
She likes getting in the way. Back to the Grand
So, Ryan Garcia has not made 140 pounds since he fought Tank Davis, which was at 135, and he still missed weight there. And that was in 2023. So,
Has it been that long?
yes.
Oh my god.
April. What's the fourth month? April 2023. So he's fought twice at 140 since then, and he was 143 and 143 and a half.
I mean, if we want to get technical, 140.1 is welterweight. That's the beginning.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, fucking Ryan Garcia hasn't
He'll
fought
come in
at 140 for years. I'm on BoxRec, and I don't see where they're saying what weight the fight is at.
I'm on El Paso Times.
And they say 140?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't surprise me. He's gonna blow weight again.
Yeah.
Fucking
He's gonna miss.
piece of crap.
Right. Back to the Grand Prix.
It's a cool idea.
It is.
I like it.
I think this is a good way you're gonna, the same way like overtime or any other tournament format works, where the winner is gonna get projected into something bigger, and you can kind of recycle the third place and below guys.
Yeah.
And just keep doing it, like the Super Series that happened a long time ago.
Yeah, like that's when Inoue unified the first time, right? Was a Super Series? He fought Donaire.
He had all of them but one, and he fought Paul Butler outside of the tournament.
Okay. Yeah. But he got those other ones in the
Yes.
tournament, right? Yeah.
Yes. So 41 different
41 nations. That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
I like it.
And then, so it's going to be 5 cards, 128 fighters. Man, that's, 64 fights total across 5 cards?
32 athletes in 4 divisions would be 64 fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Across 5 events.
Would be
12?
Yeah.
And then a few extras.
That's crazy. That's a lot of fights.
And yeah, but if depending on the level, they might not be all 12 round fights. Some of them might be 10s, 8s.
Still,
Yeah,
just 12 fights of any kind on one card is a lot.
it is. Yeah, I've been to some like that with local promotions. They tend to have just a ton of 4-rounders.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the 4-round ones, but none of these will be 4 rounds, I don't think. That's too short.
Maybe the first round of the tournament is 4 rounders, and then they moved to 6 and then moved to 8.
And then they would have half as many fight. Yeah. That would make sense. I'm sure they planned this.
Yeah, they have it figured out, but you can still hit me up, Suleiman. I'll hook you up.
I used to design the curling tournament brackets for the local tournaments, and we did double knockouts. And man, sometimes those double knockouts with odd numbers of teams just get so complicated.
That doesn't sound very fun at all.
I mean, I cheated and used like templates and stuff, but it would still take some time. Did you know that the baseball schedule for like decades was hand done by a couple, like a husband and wife somewhere in the States would just sit down and figure out, and those guys play so many fucking games.
I think triple digits of games.
Oh, yeah, it's like, what is a baseball season? Like 118 games or something crazy?
Yeah.
And there's, the baseball guys are going to hate me. I think it's 36 teams.
I don't know.
Like, that's crazy to sit down and, oh, well, these guys, but it is baseball, so you can have multiple games in a day and stuff, but still.
And a lot of them are series, like they'll play 3 or 4 game series and
yeah. But like, oh, I'm flying to Toronto and doing a triple header, so then we need at least 5 days off before we fly back to Florida, and it's...
Ew. That's not fun
I was
at
just
all.
picking places as far away as I could think. But
Jade Jones.
I don't know who that is.
It's a British Taekwondo gold medalist that's crossing into boxing.
Taekwondo. That's a weird one to come into boxing, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's all kicks.
Yeah, like Taekwondo doesn't throw that many punches.
No, they avoid throwing punches.
Interesting. Why wouldn't you go into like mixed martial arts?
That's what I
The
would've
women
thought.
The women make good money there. The men get hosed, but the women probably make maybe more than boxing.
Clarissa Shields fights in MMA for that exact reason.
Yeah. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how she does. She's been
Taekwondo footwork is really different, isn't it?
Would
Even among martial arts, their footwork is distinct.
I'm thinking that she's gonna dominate the pro ranks the same way that Tenshin Nasukawa is gonna dominate Japan.
Maloney had him hurt.
He did.
If Maloney had any fucking power, Tenshin was out.
Yeah.
I still love that Maloney had his little Japanese cheering section that was trying to yell in English. They were so cute.
What kind of things were they yelling?
So I think it was people who have actually met him. So some of it I think was like inside jokes. Not jokes, but like phrases that didn't really make sense in English that they must have used in training camp.
Japanglish?
Yeah, they were all English words, but the order was wrong, that sort of thing. And a lot of nice body. Nice body, Jason.
Is that for a body punch?
They yelled at. Yeah.
Okay.
When somebody lands a body punch in Japan, you just get this like chorus of nice body.
I'm sure at
and
this
it makes
point
me giggle every time. They do not know.
They
because
don't?
I have laughed. No, I have laughed, and the couple times I've sat beside people who were friendly enough to talk to me, the one guy was like, "What's funny?" And I was like, "It sounds like they're saying he's very handsome, like he has a nice body."
That he's very sexy. To look
Yeah,
at.
and the guy's like, "No," I was like, in English you would say body punch.
Yeah.
Or shot or something. But nice body, it just sounds like you're, complimenting his abs.
I'm thinking they call this happens in Spanish too, where they just call uppercuts, they just call them uppers.
Yeah, Japan does that too.
So I'm thinking
Yeah.
that rather than say body shot all the way out, they just like, oh, it's a body.
Yeah. And that's what it is, and it makes sense. But it still sounds funny when you get like a bunch of old men yelling "nice body."
To an Australian man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
In
that's
their
cute,
very
though.
thick Japanese accent.
Nice body.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. That was all that I.
Oh,
had.
I have something.
Oh, go ahead.
So I did manage to get a ticket to see Kiyoguchi.
Ooh.
So my very random list of 5 fighters I wanted to see when I came to Japan will be finished on March 13th. It was Inoue and Nakatani, of course, and then the other 3 were my own random likes. So I saw Kenichi Ogawa, I saw Ioka, and Kiyoguchi was the last one on the list.
And just the one missing, though. How many times have you seen the legend himself?
Tension?
Yeah.
Like 3.
Look
Something
at
like that.
You are a bigger fan than you care to admit.
No, he just fights on other people's cards. He fights on the Nakatani cards almost every time. Because I've seen Nakatani 3 times now.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
2 of those were really fast knockouts.
Yeah, super fast. Like the Astrolabio knockout was, why did I come here?
Why did I pay for this?
Yeah.
Could have at least been at the boxing bar.
Yeah, well, I haven't told that story on here yet. So I usually buy from that website where you basically just bank transfer money to the fighter directly and they mail you a ticket. But Kiyoguchi is based in Osaka, I want to say.
Yokohama?
So his...
Or
no.
he's based in Osaka, okay.
Yeah. His cutoff was really early because he's worried about mail times. So there was somebody fighting who is based in Tokyo who I think the cutoff was the 5th. And I didn't try and buy tickets until the 6th. I missed it by a day, whatever day the cutoff was. And then I still can't find, I think I figured it out now, but I can't find fucking tickets because if you Google their name and ticket, nothing comes up. So I got in the chat with the old men at the bar and I was like, guys, I fucked up. I can't find tickets to buy. And the one guy was like, oh, well, you can just buy them on this other website. And there's one guy is actually a boxing promoter and he goes, I'll get you tickets. He's like, what tickets do you want? Just let me know. And you can bank transfer me the money. And I was like, yeah, that works. That's easy. So I'm pretty sure he just went to the place they're fighting, the arena, and bought me tickets and mailed them to me. So should be here at like tomorrow or the next day.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
To have that like little niche community.
Yeah, he's his name is Kenta Kaneko because he has the same last name as one of the people I work with. Kaneko, I don't think is that common, I've only met. Yeah, I've only met the one, so I asked her if they were related, and she basically called me racist. I was like, you guys live in the same city and you have the same last name. Like,
and it's not a common one.
I didn't think it was. And she's like, there's millions of us. And I was like, yeah, I know, but you live in the same city.
I've been trying to learn how to use AI a little better, have it complement my life, I guess. So I typed in just now, who are the current top 10 pound for pound boxers into Google Gemini.
Okay.
So here's what they came up with. Number 10, Devin Haney.
No.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I know. Number 9, Junto Nakatani.
That low.
I know. But it gets better as it moves up, I think. Junto Nakatani's blurb, a very skilled boxer that continues to impress. Number 8, and this is wrong as well, Gervonta Davis.
Yep.
No.
He just got beat.
Right, he just lost. Number 7, Canelo Alvarez.
I'm okay with that one. I don't think Canelo would be in my top 10 anymore, though.
Not top 5, and at this point, at the very least, not in top 5s.
Yeah.
A long-standing presence in the top rankings, known for his skill and popularity.
Known for being a fucking ginger.
Yeah. Number 6, Jesse Rodriguez.
Really?
Yeah. A very talented younger boxer who has been very impressive.
He has been.
Yeah. Number 5, Artur Beterbiev. A very powerful puncher and a force to be reckoned with in the light heavyweight division. I'd have Jesse above him.
For sure. Beterbiev is definitely really good, but I don't know if I'd put him on a pound-for-pound list. If you shrunk him down, and took away his power, I don't think he would be that good.
If you scaled him down to Bam size, I think Bam beats him.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Nakatani beats him.
People always do it the other way. They always make the small guys bigger, but if you make the big guys smaller, I think it's more of a test in my imaginary pound for pound.
Bigger guys tend to rely on their power a lot more. So
yeah,
when you
Junto has power, but
he's also a freak of nature.
He's so tall.
He's very tall for where he fights. After number 4, Dimitri Bivol. His skill and wins in the light heavyweight division have caused his rank to rise. All right. I will take it. Number 3, Terrence Crawford. Crawford's skill and dominance in his weight divisions keeps him high on the list. Right now I'd have Bivol above Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford just doesn't fight very often.
Exactly.
Part of my problem. And now that he's fighting in weight classes that don't suit him, he's beatable looking. I mean, he hasn't been beat, but he looks like he could be. I would also argue that, what's his name, did beat it, Crawford.
Oh, Madrimov?
Yeah.
Arguable. And number 2 and number 1. You can probably guess which they are, but which order?
They'll have Usyk number 1 and Inoue number 2.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Inoue, the monster continues to dominate with his power and skill across multiple weight classes. It's been more, number 2. It's at the minimum.
Yeah, I'm okay with people putting Usyk above Inoue, honestly.
A long time ago, a friend of mine had an interesting criterion for pound list, which is the idea of a pound for pound list is to how would the smaller guys compare to the heavyweights, like you had mentioned about moving guys up. So he never included heavyweights because that's who we're supposed to be comparing.
But is Usyk a heavyweight?
He's a bridger.
Well, I just mean he went up into heavyweight, but he really is a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
And he is the only person who's fighting people that much bigger than him and winning.
True.
As much as I love Inoue, if you put him up against somebody who's 40 pounds bigger than him and at the top of their division, he's probably not going to win.
For him, that would be middleweights right now. So what, fighting Johnny Beck?
Yeah, he can maybe beat Johnny Beck. But...
and one more AI list. Who are the top 5 Japanese boxers right now?
Oh,
they gave me 6.
They're gonna fuck this up.
They gave me 6.
But they're gonna fuck this up.
It's not in order.
Okay.
I don't think so anyway. It's not numbered.
Inoue and Nakatani need to be on the list, of course.
They are. So
Good.
From the bottom up. Kosei Tanaka. Fun.
Okay.
Takuma
guess.
Inoue. Kazuto
Top
Ioka.
5? Yeah, maybe.
Kazuto, that's a good pick. Kenshiro
I don't know if he's
Terashi.
top 5 still, though.
No.
Really. Like, being honest. Taraji?
Yeah, then Terashi. It's not bad. He's been winning.
It's not terrible, but it's missing the people that they don't put in articles, because of course it is.
Yeah, Tsutsumi's missing for sure. No, you could even just tangentially mention like honorable mentions of Ryosuke Nishida and Yoshiki Takei. Those are
top 5 is a hard one, but like I wouldn't put Ioka in the top 5 anymore. Top 5 in my heart, but
number 2 and number 1 are Nakatani and Inoue,
yeah.
as one would expect.
I suspect that AI strictly went on article hits.
Yeah, that's how they're trained.
Yeah. Like, Ioka's in more articles than Tsutsumi for sure. But right now, Tsutsumi's definitely the better boxer.
Right. Actually, I changed the prompt to top 10, and it cut it down to 4.
Why?
I don't know. Here's the reasoning. It's tricky to give a definitive top 10 because rankings shift, and top can mean different things, like pound for pound skill, current title holders, etc. So I can highlight some of the most prominent and highly regarded Japanese boxers currently.
So a top 5 list gives you 6, and a top 10 list gives you 4.
Yes. Makes a lot of sense.
Excellent.
And so Kosei Tanaka, Junto Nakatani, Kazuto Ioka, and Naoya Inoue, as one would expect.
That must just be article hits.
It is. It even gave me its top sources: ESPN, Boxing News Online, and Ring Magazine.
Right. Well, Nioka would have a ton of articles because of his cancellation in his last fight.
Yeah. Double heartbreak.
That was so sad.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are at an hour.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask. How are you gonna give me 6 names for top 5 prompts, but only 4 for top 10?
I hate the AI shit. It drives me nuts.
It apologized and gave me more names. Okay.
It does that a lot, especially if you ask it opinion questions.
Improved list. So this is ranked. No, it's not ranked. Never mind. Because it's Naoya Inoue, Kazuto Ioka, Junto Nakatani, Kosei Tanaka, Takuma Inoue, Seiya Tsutsumi, Yuki Yonaha.
Nice.
I don't know who that is.
I don't even know who that is.
Riku Kano, Ginjiro Shigeoka,
Shigeoka I've heard of, at least.
Yudai Shigeoka. I've heard of him, and they're brothers, so whatever. It apologized for not giving me 10.
And then gave you the most random fucking list of names I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's an odd one, Gemini, but I'll take it, I guess. It's a good starting point.
I hate that AI generated shit at the top of Google now. 'Cause lots of
You've been listening to the Boxing B-Sides Sidepiece, a Lux Media production. If you're just dying to tell us how fucking casual you think we are, you can be a duck and text the anonymous line 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on your business, leave a voice message or send a voice note in WhatsApp. And if you're entertaining enough, you might make the final cut of the show. 833-LUX-PODS. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net, all one word. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Blue Sky, all of that bullshit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. A lot of things get cut from the final release, So if you want the raw audio exactly as it's recorded, look us up on Patreon, LVX Media Net, over there just like everywhere else. You can also get the ad-free version of the episode you just heard on there too. Even if you don't sign up on Patreon, you can still help us out by checking out the ad sponsors. You can also give us a rating on whatever your preferred podcast player is. And don't forget, shop.lvx.be is where you can get merch and help us while you're snagging some threads for yourself. Intro and outro by Middle of Nowhere Beats, and for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. There you have it. That's the side piece. This isn't the first one that we've recorded, but it is the first one that I'm releasing to the public. This is going to end up coming into the cycle regularly. Same situation with advertisements. All of the ad-free stuff is available on Patreon, this side piece included. So thanks for listening. If you liked it, let me know. Let me know somehow. You have the ways to contact us, and hit us with a rating wherever you're listening. We'll see you next time.